Jen, I'm seeing some huge numbers of what the World Cup means, economic impact across the globe. How do you guys look at it?
Yeah, hi, Paul. So, the estimates this year are that the World Cup around the world could result in $80 billion worth of spending. So that's a huge sporting event. It's the biggest event for a lot of countries around the world. But as you alluded to in your warm-up or entry, the United States, we're not such a big soccer country. So it's going to be very interesting to see how having the tournament here plays out with regards to that anticipated spend.
I'm wondering if the NBA Finals, and I'm going to be very New York-centric right now for a moment, but we've got the New York Knicks in the finals for the first time since 1999 over at MSG. Is that going to take any of the thunder away from the World Cup, or are these two different sets of fans, or maybe is that part of the problem?
Well, it's a good question, Alexis, and I think that you're talking about kind of two sets of fans. Everybody's very excited about the Knicks. And as that final comes through and we see what happens, I think there's grounds and reason for the city to celebrate. But the World Cup matches are actually happening outside of Manhattan. They're happening in New Jersey. And right now, one of the challenges, I think, for the World Cup is that none of the matches are sold out. Ticket prices are way out of the reach of your average fan. And so as we get closer to the tournament, part of what we'll be seeing is, do those prices come down to help improve engagement and get people in the stadia and get them excited about the tournament?
Jen, right now, what are the brands that are really making big commitments to the World Cup these days?
Yeah, it's obviously there are a lot of partnerships that happen with regards to brands. On the apparel side, Adidas is leading. They have made commentary from their management team that they expect the World Cup to generate €1 billion in revenue for them. Our analyst, who's Poonam Goyal, our lead analyst for Adidas, she thinks it's closer to €1.2 billion. You've also got brands that are doing other partnerships like Old Navy and The Gap, where they're at a much lower price point, but they're having the ability for people to just buy a T-shirt for the team that they're supporting. So you're seeing it across all different levels within the retailer space. And I think that those are the things that get people excited if they pick a team and they're able to follow it and they're able to participate in some way. But those are, when you look at the athletic brands, Adidas and Nike are the ones who have the kits, the uniforms for the most teams that are in the Cup. So if people go out and they buy the actual jerseys, that's a benefit for Adidas and Nike.
Jen, I want to go back to ticket prices, which has been a sore spot for fans. They've just been, through the roof in many places. Because FIFA is using dynamic pricing, if there are a lot of seats left just before these matches happen, are we going to see a material drop in prices, do you think?
It is possible that we'll see a drop in prices as the matches become nearer because of that dynamic pricing. But it's not just the match. If you've seen any of the other media out there, it's about getting to the match as well. So, we've seen, New Jersey Transit, for example, talking about getting to Giant Stadium where there are going to be matches. The round-trip train ticket at one point was $150. Now it's closer to $100. But that's still a big outlay just to even get to the stadium where that's happening. Not every city is doing the same thing. But there are lots of ways that fans are getting gouged beyond just the actual ticket price to be able to go to the stadium and enjoy the show.
What do the retailers say? Does this drive sales? Like, do people come and buy jerseys and things like that?
It depends, I think is the answer, Paul. In the United States, I think there's a little bit less of that, unless the U.S. team happens to go far. The further the U.S. team goes in the tournament, I think the better that is for U.S.-based retailers, because people will jump on that fan bandwagon and purchase things to show support for the U.S. team. Globally, however, it's good for those brands that are, as I said, Adidas and Nike, those brands that have the official jerseys. There's a lot more of that kind of purchases that happen overseas.